Hello, this is Pastor Green. We're doing another Bible study today. It's going to be Genesis chapter 31. If you guys have any questions, you can always email me at godsohman@gmail.com. This is going to be a YouTube Bible study, so make sure you subscribe to my channel, click the bell, also like and comment. By subscribing and clicking the bell, it lets you know whenever I post a new video. By liking and commenting, it lets YouTube know that my video is getting seen and getting interactions, so they'll actually promote it more. So I appreciate if you guys did that for me. Genesis 31, start with verse 1. And he, talking about Jacob, heard the words of Laban's son, saying, Jacob has taken away all that was our father's, and all that which was our father's. He has gotten all this glory. And Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban, and behold, it was not towards him as before. And the Lord said unto Jacob, Return unto thy land of thy fathers, and to thy kindred, and I will be with thee. And Jacob sent and called for Rachel and Leah to the fields of his flock. And he said unto them, I see your father's countenance, that is not towards me as before, but the God of my fathers has been with me, and you know that with all my power I have served your father. And your father has deceived me, and changed my wages 10 times. But God suffered not unto hurt me. And he says thus, The speckled shall be thy wages, then all the cattle bear speckled. And if he said thus, The ringstraked shall be thy hire, then bear all the cattle ringstraked. Thus God has taken away the cattle from your father, and given them all to me. And it came to pass in all the time that the cattle conceived, that I lifted up mine eyes and saw a dream. And behold, the rams which leaped upon the cattle were ringstraked, speckled, and grisled. And the angel of God spoke unto me in a dream, saying, Jacob. And I said, Here I am. And he said, Lift up thine eyes, and see, all the rams which leapt unto the cattle are ringstraked, speckled, and grisled. For I have seen all that Laban doth unto thee. And God of Bethel, where thou appointest thy pillar, and where thou vowedst a vow to me, now arise, get thee out from this land, and return into the land of thy kindred. And Rachel and Leah answered and said unto him, Is there yet a portion or inheritance for us in our father's house? Now remember, Jacob didn't pay a dowry for the two girls. All he did was work for Laban, so Laban got the profit. The girls got nothing from it. So the girls were like, Is there an inheritance for us in our father's house? Are we not counted unto him strangers? For he has sold us. He has quite devoured also our money. For all the riches which God has taken from our father, that is ours, and our children's. Now then, whatsoever God hath said unto thee, do. Then Jacob rose up and sent his sons and his wives upon camels, and he carried away all of his cattle and all of his goods, which he has gotten, the cattle of his getting, which he had gotten in Padan, for to go to Isaac his father, the land of Canaan. And you can see on the map here on Gilead, where we're actually going to talk about here in a second. It shows you he going from Beersheba all the way up to Haran, but in Gilead is when Laban's going to actually catch up with him. And Laban went to shear his sheep, and Rachel has stolen the images that were her father's. So Rachel stole all of Laban's idols. And Jacob stole away unawares to Laban the Syrian, that he told him not that he fled. So he fled with all he had, and he rose up and passed over the river, and set his face towards the Mount Gilead. And it was told Laban on the third day that Jacob was fled. Now you have to understand that Jacob was already living a few days away from Laban, so it took 7 days for Laban to catch him. So it was 10 to 12 days worth of travel. And he took his brethren with him, and pursued after him 7 days' journey, and they overtook him in the Mount Gilead. And God came to Laban the Syrian in a dream by night, and said unto him, Take heed that thou speakest not to Jacob either good nor bad. Then Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the mount, and Laban with his brothers pitched in the Mount of Gilead. And Laban said to Jacob, What hast thou done? What hast thou stolen unawares to me? And he carried away my daughters and captives taken with the sword? Wherefore didst thou flee away secretly, and steal away from me, and didst not tell me, that I might have sent thee away with mirth, and songs, and tabrets, and with harp, and hast not suffered me to kiss my sons and my daughters? Hast that now done foolishly in so doing? So Laban's saying, you left. I didn't even get to kiss my daughters goodbye. I didn't get to kiss my grandsons goodbye. And he's basically saying you stole from him as well. I mean, any father would want to kiss his kids goodbye if they were leaving. Is it not the power of thy hand that you do hurt? For the God of your father spoke to me yesternight, saying, Take thou heed that thou speakest not Jacob either good nor bad. And now through thou wouldest need be gone, because thou sore longest after thy father's house. Yet wherefore hast thou stolen my gods? So he's basically asking Jacob, you stole my idols, where are they at? And Jacob answered and said to Laban, Because I was afraid, for I said, Peradventure thou shalt takest me by force and the daughters from me. And whomsoever thou findest thy gods, let him not live. Before our brethren discern thou what is thine from me, and take it to thee. For Jacob knew not that Rachel had stolen them. So Jacob's basically telling Laban, like, dude, I didn't steal from you. And in fact, if one of my servants stole from you, you can go ahead and kill him. And Jacob didn't know that Rachel was the one that stole him. And if you remember, Jacob worked for 14 years in order to marry Rachel, so he loved her very, very much. Now Laban went into Jacob's tent, and into Leah's tent, and then into the two maidservants' tents, and he found them not. Then he out of Leah's tent and entered into Rachel's tent. Now Rachel had taken the images and put them in the camel's furniture and sat upon them. And Laban searched all the tent, but found them not. And she said unto her father, Let it not displease thy lord that I cannot rise up before thee, for the custom of the woman is upon me. And he searched, but found not the images. So Rachel pretty much told Laban, I'm on my period, so, don't make me move. And she actually hid the idols underneath her, so she didn't want him to move because she knew that if she did, she'd die. And Jacob with wroth, and chode with Laban. And Jacob answered and said unto Laban, What is my trespass, and what is my sin, that thou hast so hotly pursued after me? Whereas thou hast searched all my stuff, and what hast thou found in all my household stuff? Set it here before my brethren and thy brethren, that they may judge between us both. This 20 years I have been with thee. Thy ewes and thy she-goats have not cast their young, and the rams of thy flock have I not eaten? By which I was torn of beast, and brought it not unto thee. I bear the loss of it, and my hand didst thou require it, whether stolen by day or by night. So Jacob's pretty much telling him, I've worked for you for 20 years. It didn't matter what happened. I worked all night. I worked all day. If one of the animals died under my watch, I paid for it. He said, why are you treating me like this? Thus I was in the day that drought consumed me, and the frost by night, and my sleep departed from mine eyes. So he's saying he worked day and night, bad weather, good weather, dying of thirst, freezing cold. It didn't matter. He took care of the guy's animals. Thus I have been 20 years in thine house. I served thee 14 years for thy 2 daughters, and 6 years for the cattle. And thou hast changed my wages 10 times. Except the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac have been with me. Surely thou hast sent me away now empty. God has seen thine affliction, and thy labor of thy hands, and he rebuked thee yesternight. And Laban answered and said unto Jacob, These daughters are my daughters, and these children are my children, and these cattle are my cattle, and all that thou seest is mine. And what can I do this day unto thy daughters, or to thy children which they have borne? Now therefore, come thou, let us make a covenant, and I thou, and let it be for a witness between me and thee. And Jacob took a stone, and set it up for a pillar. And Jacob said unto his brethren, Gather stones. And they took stones and made a heap, and they did not eat there upon the heap. And they did eat upon the heap. And Laban called it that big name, but Jacob called it Gilead. And Laban said, This heap is a witness between me and thee this day. Therefore my name shall it be called Gilead. And a Mespah, for he said, The Lord watches between me and thee, while we are absent from one another. And the pictures of the Mespah coins are really interesting. I used to work for Family Christian, and everybody always asked for this coin, and they thought it was for like best friends. These best friends gonna both wear this necklace, and it says, the Lord be between thee and me while we're absent from each other. But the truth of the matter is these two guys don't like each other very much. And so they're saying, you do your thing and I do my thing. And, don't steal from me and I won't steal for you because God's going to be watching us. That's what it really means. Don't steal from each other. Don't fight with each other because God's going to be watching us. It doesn't mean like it's a friendly thing. It's more like two people that don't like each other. And God's basically going to be the third party, the referee, to tell him what's going on. And if thou shalt afflict my daughters, or thou shalt take it otherwise besides my daughters, no man is with us. See, God is witness betwixt me and thee. Now Laban said unto Jacob, Behold this heap, and behold this pillar, which I have cast betwixt me and thee. This heap be witness, and this pillar be witness, that I will not pass over this heap to thee, and thou shalt not pass over this heap and thy pillar for me for harm. So he's basically saying, the God's going to watch over us. You don't cross this line, and I won't cross this line, and we're just going to agree to disagree. The God of Abraham, and the God of Nahor, and the God of their fathers judge between us. And Jacob swore by the figure of his father Isaac. Then Jacob offered sacrifices upon the mount, and called his brethren to eat bread. And they did eat bread, and they tarried all night in the mount. And early in the morning Laban rose up, and kissed his sons and his daughters, and he blessed them. And Laban departed, and returned unto his place. And now, if you remember, Jacob's got to go home to his father's home, and now he's got to face Esau, the guy that he stole his blessing and his birthright from. So now he's leaving Laban to go see his brother, who basically said, if I see you again, I'm going to kill you. Well, guys, I appreciate you guys listening to the Bible study. Again, make sure you subscribe to my channel and click the bell. Also, like and comment. If you don't really have anything to comment, just say, thank you, good job. You can ask me a question. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.